If you're a home buyer in Northwest Bergen County right now, I know you're feeling frustrated. You're not alone. It's been a tough year for home buyers given the rising interest rates, the low inventory, and the stiff competition. Now, as a primarily a listing agent, I've been involved in managing a lot of multiple offer situations for my seller clients. And, even though price and terms are always the most important, there are other things that you can do to enhance your offer. And here are a few tips. Number one is be the first to go see the house and be the first to submit the offer. What that will show the seller is that you're eager, you're no nonsense, and you are really interested. So that is something to consider. Number two is go back to the house a second time if you can. Things are moving so quickly, but you really should take a little bit of time, do your due diligence. It protects you to make sure that this is really the house for you. And it'll also show the seller that you're 100% committed when you submit your offer. Hey, I've looked at the house, I've spent time in the house, I know this is the house for me. So that's number two. Number three is get pre-approved with reputable and local lender. I know sometimes when I have a multiple offer situation as a listing agent, I'll get a call from a lender and they're just vouching for their buyer who they know just submitted an offer. And if it's a lender that I know and I trust that they'll get to the closing table, I will make sure that that gets relayed to my seller client. So that's another thing that you can do. Number four is, when you come in with your offer, come in as strong as you can, especially when things are moving so fast. You got to come in strong unless the price is really out of whack. Now, I will help you look at, as your buyer's agent, we'll look at the comps just to make sure things aren't out of whack. But in this environment, you do have to come in and you have to come in strong. Another thing that you can do is limit inspection. Now, I would never tell you to waive inspection entirely, but you can limit it to just the big stuff like environmental issues or structural issues or anything that's hazardous or has a safety component. Those are things that you can limit to. Or you can say, hey, I will cover any repairs up to $3,000. That will tell the seller that you're not going to nitpick over whether you have a GFCI outlet in the kitchen that's not working or something like that. You're just focused on the main stuff, the most important elements of the house. So that can carry some weight. Another thing that you can do is, and I don't know if I recommend doing this if you're not comfortable doing it, but waiving appraisal or some part thereof. If you're up against a cash offer, if the house is getting into a territory, the price of the house is getting to a territory that it might not appraise out, and you've got the cash to do it, you might want to think about waiving any appraisal deficit at a level that you're comfortable with. Another thing that you can do is make sure that your offer packet is as complete and organized as possible. I mean, when I see many offers coming through and you see one from an agent who just has it so buttoned up, I know that agent is going to be organized. She's going to stay on top of things, and she's going to be able to get to the closing table. And then I've seen offers where things are missing out of the contract, disclosures aren't signed, and you just know what that's going to set up to be. So again, making sure that the offer package is as buttoned up as possible. Another thing that you might want to consider is offering a use and occupancy. And what that means is that you will give the seller a short period of time after closing to stay in the house. Maybe they're in the process of buying their next house, and that will just give them a little bit of buffer so they're not spending a few nights in the hotel. So that's something that can carry some weight. So these are just some ideas to help your offer be as strong as possible. Again, it really comes down to price and terms and a pre-approval or your proof of funds. But if you're neck and neck with another offer, these things can sometimes make a difference. So if you have any questions, please reach out.